Hi, it's Cara Romano back at the Consumer Goods Business and Technology Leadership Conference, here with Robert Fort, who is representing the CIO perspective on the retail side. So welcome, thanks for joining us.
Oh, thank you, my pleasure.
I want to ask you from a retailer perspective about our theme. It's really all about the connected company. You're talking a little bit later about it. Help us understand what a retailer thinks when they think connected company.
Well, I think in this sort of new age that we have where the customer being so empowered that, the model where all the issues are just the retailer are gone. We have to really look through our entire supply chain, everything from raw materials up through manufacturing up to product distribution and so forth. So I love the idea of connected. If you just step back and look at it in a much bigger picture, that's certainly something that we all need to work on.
This conference is really focused on the supplier side. So one of the few retailers here, help me understand how retailers can really work with suppliers and how suppliers can make it easier for retailers to work with them and collaborate like that.
Well, in the session I'm going to do, one of the things I'm going to point out is that it's sort of a new imperative, and I think we all just have to come to that understanding that ultimately what happens if the consumer buys the product, then the retailer's making money, and we're obviously going to replenish product and so forth. So it's beneficial to the suppliers. It's fun to have this conversation because I've been on the CPG side before, so I have great empathy for the challenges we have there. It's been fun to be here too because I'm hearing that some of the challenges that I thought I left behind are still in existence, and it's good to be able to see it from both sides. But I do think that there's never been a more important time for us all to have to come together.
Recently you were at the Analytics Summit that we held in California with the retailers and suppliers together. Any takeaways from that? What stood out to you from that conference that you could bring to this one?
Well, that's actually why I'm here, because I was talking with Albert on that. I think it was the start of a very good dialogue. But it's probably one of those where we don't have a lot of relatedness, certainly these two communities, and so we're sort of still tiptoeing into it a little bit. I sort of see it in one way, if one of us was black and one of us was white, we didn't really get into the gray conversation yet. So I think, if we keep at this, and that's why I'm glad to be helping to, keep the conversation moving along, I think we'll go somewhere with it.
We talk a lot about that data sharing, talk a lot about moving the whole retail community forward with the suppliers. I think that's a big part of it. Is it around the data? Is it around the data sharing? Is that where the two parties can come together?
I'd say data sharing is probably the biggest challenge right now, and it's one that's been long standing, but it's much beyond that now. It's really about, and it has been for a while, it's about how you start creating proprietary products. How do you start dealing with the strategies about differentiation, which usually is us going out and trying to get exclusive products. It's even though in the omnichannel world now, if you really look at things from a pre-sale aspect and the actual sale aspect and then the post-sale aspect, and you realize that suppliers and retailers have always had relationship with the customer, how do we partner in those things now? How do we offer a better overall experience to the customer? So is it, obviously manufacturers have websites, they have content, things like that the customers are looking at for the pre-purchase. During the sales cycle, I think retail has quite a lot of experience of that, about making the store experience and all nice for the customer. And then you have the post, which is like the support and the follow-ups and so forth. And again, that's where retailers and suppliers can work together.
It's making it a win-win for everybody, right?
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it. Look forward to your presentation.
My pleasure. Thank you.